about the race riots of 1919, what they call the Red Summer. And I want to read some of this to y'all. Despite the reform impulse of the progressive era and the democratic ideals triumph as the United States went to war against Germany, most white Americans concluded to social Darwinism and white supremacy. White people reacted with contempt and violence to the demands of the black people for fairer treatment in the United States and equal opportunities in American society. The campaigns of the NAACP and the efforts of the Black Women's Club and the services and sacrifices of black men in war not only failed to alter the racial white preconceptions, but were sometimes accomplished by a backlash against African Americans. 10 black men still in uniform were lynched in 1919. So y'all saying, oh my granddaddy fought in that war. You see right here, did none of that matter. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they came home from the war, they were still niggas. And then, when they was in the war, they had a separate brigade. And I read that to y'all one time where the white officers would have, but they would have a white officer. And, the white officer would have his troops, but then it would be an all-black brigade, but it would have a white leader. So let me finish this. Many white Americans concurred with Mississippi Senator James K. Vanderman when he declared in 1914 that white people would not accept black claims for meaningful political and legal roles in America. He says, God Almighty never intended the Negro should share with the white man in the government of this country. Do not forget that it matters not what I may say or others may think. Matters not what in the it doesn't matter what's in the Constitution. Many contains or statutes provide whatever the Negro is inefficient numbers to imperial to the white man. Civilizations or questions the white man's supremacy. The white man is going to find some way around the difficulty. And that is just as true as in the North as it is in the South. You need to not deceive yourselves about that. The feeling against Negroes in Illinois when it gets in the white man's way is quite strong and bitter, less regardful of the Negro. Feelings and conditions that is the same as in Mississippi. So what they saying, no matter whether you in the North or the South, white people gonna feel the same way, no matter what geographical location they in. When it come to black people getting real, a real shot in this country to actually be an American or whatnot. But hold on. The racial violence that had permitted in the Southern life in this late 19th century expanded into the northern communities as white Americans responded with hospitality to arrival of the black migrants from the South. Black people defended themselves and casualties among both races. And let me read this. In the year between 1900 and 1923, race conflicts and riots occurred in a dozen of American communities as black people migrations increased in numbers in urban areas. The violence reached its peak in the immediate aftermath of World War I during the Red Summer of 1919. White Americans, North and South, were demanding to keep black people confined to a subordinate role in mental laborers and restricted to well-defined and all-black neighborhoods. African Americans who had made a sufficient economics in the military contributed to the war's efforts and whose concurrent in the large numbers of these American cities insisted on participating on this equal basis in American society. So the Red Summer in 1919, you got a mass migration of blacks that's going from south to north. But they realize that as they get going from the south to the north, they realizing that the people, although they were more a little bit more accepting of them, the black people started to see that the whites in the south and the whites in the north still treated them the same. They still was second and third class citizens, and they never really, had like I said, a fair shot in being real Americans. And see, they found that out after they left and went north. You see what I'm saying? So the riots of 1919. You see what I'm saying? What they call Red Summer, because they always be like, even black people be saying this, and they, probably right. Black people get mad as hell in the summer. I don't know if it's because it's hot or whatnot. It seems like, black people will rebel during the summertime quicker than they will in the wintertime. A lot of that marching and stuff, be it February, be it spring, and during the summertime, when the sun is out. You see what I'm saying? So they called it Red Summer. You see what I'm saying? Plus, at that time, a lot of, they damn near, what was it? That was right around the time they burned down damn Chicago. You see what I'm saying? What we don't realize, just like Mississippi burning and all that going on, with, black people who was rebelling and whatnot. Man, that went on in Detroit, they went on in Chicago, they went on in California. You see what I'm saying, man? They done burnt plenty of these American cities to the ground that they never talk about because they never want to tell you about the time when the black people used to rebel and black people used to really be black people. See, black people today is just a black or brown carbon copy of a European. You see what I'm saying? So the white people in this country, not everybody, okay? You speak big